Hello and welcome back to Getting Handsy. This is Bob Bosk. For the last couple of years I've been dabbling in 3D printing, so I thought today we'd try something new. Now to preface this, I just recently bought the newest edition of Firefight from Mantic Games. I got the Mega Bundle, which comes with like 2 factions and some jets and extra stuff. And when putting together the Enforcer, Accuser, Interceptor, I noticed that there were enough weapons or extras to make at least 2 to 3 completely different aircraft. The idea being you could put the weapons or troop on to make it whichever version you wanted. This happens fairly regularly with these tabletop wargaming kits. But that got me thinking, what if I could recreate the missing parts and then have 2 vehicles, rather than just one and a bunch of extra parts I'll never use? So I figured with my basic understanding of 3D printing and my mediocre blender skills, this should be doable. And that's where we are today. So I started out by picking out the piece I wanted to look at and then just kind of started measuring. It didn't have to be perfect, but I wanted it to at least be compatible with the main pieces. So I would measure and then go into Blender and start kind of making things. So I started with just a basic cube. It's kind of the place I go with any Blender file. Made it the dimensions I had just measured. And then kind of went from there, trying to see if I could recreate each piece. This one was the wing. It was one of the more intricate pieces to make. But voila, it's done. Took a bit longer than just that. But yeah, that's the basics. It was just kind of working back and forth, going from the original to this. It's not 1-to-1. I didn't try to make it exactly 1-to-1. It's just trying to be similar, but then would also fit with the joints. From there, I got all the files saved, put them into the slicer, got them supported. As you can see there, I got most of the pieces done before I did just the wing. The wings ended up being fairly thick, so I ended up hollowing them out just to make them a little bit easier to print. And then they wouldn't be as heavy when they're on the actual model. So, next we put the sliced file into the printer and just let it go. Once it's done, we get to open it up and see if everything turned out all right. Here they are, fresh off the printer, still dripping. Looks pretty good so far. Next, we're going to get them off the plate, put them right into my ultrasonic cleaner. After they've gone through the ultrasonic cleaner, I'll then put them in a nice bath of hot water where I'll peel off the supports, and then I will scrub each of the pieces with a toothbrush. It's just a kind of an old toothbrush. Once the pieces have had some time to dry, I'll put them into my homemade curing bucket. Basically, this is where resin prints get their kind of final touches, I guess. It hardens and makes sure everything is complete, I guess, cured. After a bit of time in that curing bucket, here they are. These are the pieces that we've designed and printed. They're looking pretty good. Now we'll just have to test fit them and see if they work. First off, let's take a look at these tail pieces. They seem to fit pretty well, a bit snug, but they work. This little cap seems to fit as well, went right in. The end of the wings, they're again like fins. They'll have to be glued on the end, but they at least fit, so that's nice. The wing is where we've got some issues, though. It's not quite lining up right. So we'll have to do a little bit of work. Right now, I'm just going to file it down a little bit and see if I can get it to fit. Okay. Well, this is closer. It's not quite there yet. Got a little bit of a gap, but that can be filled. But Not too bad for a first go. Okay, with a little bit more filing, I did get nice and tight around that whole side, so just got to edit my file a little bit, but it's looking good. Not too bad, or not too far off, I suppose. And then these will just get attached there, but that'll need some glue. And then the whole reason I was doing this, let's see if these fit. Nice. Well, I'll have to be on the right one, but a little tight, but that'll work. Cool. Now I do still have the fuselage left, but I thought this was a good spot to at least test to see what I've done already and to see if, what I've done is working, and mostly to just see if everything was connecting all right. So in the end, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'll probably do another quick video at some point when I finish the fuselage just to show that I was able to complete it. Well, hopefully I'll be able to complete it. In the grand scheme of things, I think 3D printing is going to become a bigger deal in tabletop gaming and board games, role-playing games, all that stuff. There's just so many options for printing the miniatures themselves or terrain, monsters, bad guys, everything. Is the necromancer in your D&D session going to summon a whole bunch of skeletons? Go print out some. Do you need to fight a giant dragon? Go find a file, print one out. There's just so much you can do with it. And if you can't find a file online, there's always free options to learn how to make them yourselves. Like I'm learning how to use Blender. Anyway, long story short, I foresee using 3D printing a lot more in my tabletop gaming. So you'll probably see more videos like that on here, in addition to my other ones. So if you like that, don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.